All right. Good afternoon, everyone, or evening, or whatever. My name is Benjamin. Welcome back to our weekly updates of the Senate elections for 2020. Nothing really has changed according to my model. Obviously, I think it was last Friday. I went over what I thought the Senate map would look like, or should be considered. It's a little bit more black and white than this one in terms of, states that are maybe shaded as likely here. I've got considered as safe. Um, as for a lot of reasons, Hickenlooper dropped out of the presidential primaries for the Democrats, so that will probably change Colorado in my forecast. And of course, when we start getting actual polling for that matchup between Cory Gardner and Hickenlooper, I definitely think it's. I think this map is a good starting point. I don't think this is the end all be all, mostly because, again, we're dealing with small sample size, so, that's a thing. And I've always been big on to saying, always take things with a grain of salt when the sample size is small. So, grain of salt on this map, please. This is not my own personal opinion. This map is based off of a model I designed, which is right here. And you can find the link to that along with my presidential election model down in the description, along with a link to my Patreon, because apparently I have one of those. Good luck, all the good that one has done for me. Oh, shameless self plug, and of course, likes, comments, subscriptions if you're into this type of content, or if you actually do enjoy the opinions that I put out. Please, it really does help, and I do read every comment. Whether or not I respond, it's more whether or not I think I have anything of value to add to that comment in the form of another comment. Typically, I'll respond to the super interesting ones both as a little thing underneath that person, like as an immediate response, but I'll also go into depth on the next video if I see something that's of particular interest. There's a comment on the presidential election video that kind of interested me, and the point of interest that I got out of it was that the presidential election model, that map changed dramatically when I collapsed the national polling section. If you look at that, it's greatly compacted. And basically, all it did was I took all of the polls from that time frame at the end of July and I compressed them into one. I should have waited until the end of the quarter, but I just didn't for whatever reason. I kind of forget why now, but at this point, it's a little bit too late to change that. So, whatever. We'll just leave it. Not really. I really don't have much to say. I mean, the map is for the Senate is looking reasonable. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Maine. I think Suzanne Collins is definitely vulnerable there, and I don't want to criticize anyone who has Maine as a competitive state. Arizona, same thing. I'm a little shocked that Alaska's showing is moderately competitive, but I think that's going to change too, at least in the model. Like I said, Arizona is definitely a competitive state. North Carolina, I can see the argument for that one being competitive. I can see the argument for Iowa being competitive. Alabama, I'm going to say I see the argument for it being competitive. I just don't think people should think that Doug Jones is anywhere close to being a favorite there. Georgia is going to be close, but not competitive close. And in the Deep South, I think I've talked about this over and over again. So I'll just give a little bit of... I'll just be very brief about it. The South doesn't have very elastic electorates. There's not a lot of swing voters. And that's for a lot of reasons, if we go back into the history of that. Now, probably next week, I'm going to start adding in and doing videos that are kind of a meet this presidential hopeful, both the Democrats and the Republicans. And I'm going to say, well, the ones who actually have a chance, I'll say, this week we're going to meet Joe Biden. And it's not going to be an interview with the person. I don't have that type of notoriety. It's just going to be, we're going to review their career, or more accurately, I'm going to review their career. I'm going to kind of highlight what their policy points are, and I'm going to kind of highlight whether or not they, I'm going to not stray away from controversy. If they have a scandal, I'm going to report it. If they have a lot of gaffes, I'm going to report them. Again, Joe Biden being the notable example here, though a lot of people would say Trump, and I'll do things in as objective a manner as I can, because I don't want to be the person who just takes makes a 20-minute video saying meet Bernie Sanders and then just take the piss out of him for 20 minutes. I don't think that's right. I think people need to know who the candidates are in the best, in the most objective way possible, so that they can make the best decision about, for themselves as to who to vote for. And even if it costs who I think you should be voting for, or, who I would rather see get votes, that's okay. Because I don't want to be the person who is using dishonesty in order to push someone in one direction or another. I want to be the type of person who, when I say something, people believe it because I am reputable, I am honorable. Anyway, that's about all I have for today. Tomorrow I'm going to be heading out to a gun show just because I want to go. I may or may not pick something up, but that's neither here nor there. I want you all to take it easy. Have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.